Thanks for stopping by today to check out this video. It's about the Vercel v0 product. It's a generative AI code generator, and it's using Next.js, React, Tailwind, and the ShadCN UI. So it will write UI for you, and it helps kickstart projects. And I'll do a tutorial and a walkthrough of a good portion of the product. And in a second video, I plan to go ahead and use the code and put it inside of a project and then go ahead and run it. But first I want to walk through the tools and how it works and just show it in action. So thanks again for stopping by. In this video, I want to take a look at a fairly newer product that's in beta right now. It's from the Vercel company and it's called v0. And basically, that's like version 0 of your user interface that you want to try and create. And so this tool, they have a website here that you can log into with a free account and you get some free credits. I'm subscribed to the premium plan, so I'm able to generate more content. And also, because of that, there's an option here that I can choose premium, which is higher quality, slower generations. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that. And if we just take a look around the home page here, we can see that you can upload an image, or you can go to the public versions that have been created by other people, which if I just scroll down a little bit here, we can see some examples of content that's been created just by putting in a prompt. So it's really a quick way to generate some ideas and actual code that's done in React. And it uses this tool set here called ShadCN/UI, build your component library. So it provides open source, beautifully designed components that you can copy and paste into your apps, accessible, customizable, and open source. That's part of the technology that it's using. It's also using Tailwind CSS. So we can scroll down. There's tons of really awesome features about Tailwind. Here they have a little example where you can drag the content here and see the different breakpoints and to see how it changes the UI. So I do really like Tailwind, and it's nice that they're using that as an option for this code generation tool. Now I believe that in the future there will be a lot more tools like this, and it's using AI, of course, to create this content and to create the code behind it. Right now it's limited to creating basically HTML and React code. We don't know for sure if they'll add other frameworks and be able to generate other kinds of code. I would assume that's going to happen. They just wanted to start at this point with this tool and see where it goes and how many people are using it. I did want to point out the FAQ page because it does give some ideas about where they're going potentially with this product. So here it just explains that this v0 is a generative user interface system by Vercel powered by AI. It generates copy and paste friendly React code based on the ShadCN UI and Tailwind. It uses AI models to generate code based on simple text prompts, which we're going to try that out here in just a minute. And you can go through different iterations of it by prompting it or selecting individual areas on the page. And then they give you the choice of 3 different options to choose from. And then you can copy and paste its code and directly integrate it into your project like on a command line, basically. So there are some free credits that you can get to play around with it a little bit. And they explain that it was trained on custom code their team has written, mixed with some open source, was or is or will be used to train, improve, or fine-tune the models. Will my generations be used for training? Yes, your generations may be reviewed by their AI team to improve their systems, but they will add the ability to opt out in the coming weeks during the beta. Can I access my data? We're planning to build the ability to download your usage data. This is currently not supported in the beta. So there's a lot of other things here. If you're interested, you should take a look so you can learn some more about their product. Let's go back to the home page now and take a look at a few examples here and see how it works. So if we select this first one, you can either click on the prompt to copy it, or you can click on the actual image of it. And so here, this just says there was one prompt, an e-commerce dashboard with a sidebar, navigation, and an overview showing net sales, returns, cancellations, and a graph. So they just typed in that prompt and it generated all of this code, and there's actually 3 revisions, so I can click on the 3 revisions here. And if you want to see the code for it, you just click this code button up here. And you can see the code. You can copy it by clicking this icon here. And there's also this command line that you can copy and run on your coding environment, and it will import the code into your system, but you can also just copy and paste it. And if we just look at the system here, we can change between tablet mode, mobile, and desktop, so you can get an idea of how responsive it is. So that's basically what the user interface looks like. We're going to go ahead and prompt it to try and create a few different things here in this video and see how it does. And a couple other things to point out. All of these that we saw were public. Right here it says public, and if you have a paid account, they allow you to generate things privately, so that if you don't want your information shared out to the world, you can go ahead and just create them privately. I went ahead and typed in a fairly long prompt. So it says, create an online portfolio site for a full stack web developer that includes the following sections: a navigation bar that collapses to a hamburger menu, a hero section with a picture and description of the full stack web developer, and then a section with a list of 3 recent projects that have been worked on, and a section with a list of 20 programming and frameworks and tools, a contact me form, an email address they can click on, and a footer section with links to a YouTube channel, Twitter, and a link to myportfoliosite.com. Make the site a nice dark orange and blue complementary colors, and use a carousel at the top of the page that is animated. So let's go ahead and generate it now. And it will go ahead and create 3 options for us. And we'll just go ahead and let this get finished, and I'll probably speed it up in post editing. Alright, so it looks like I'm starting to see some content fill in here. And it did say, since this is a premium option, that it will take longer to generate its output. I can see here like the little thumb scroller bar, so there should be a decent amount of content there, and the same within this one, and they're still being generated though, so we'll come back. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it did here. At the top we have a navigation bar, home, project, skills, and a contact us with an icon. So we have the name, we have a basic place to have an image, and the person's name, what they are, full stack web developer. Here is some projects and the list of skills or frameworks. Then a contact me page with an email. And then there is a footer at the bottom that has YouTube, Twitter, and like a icon for a website. So that actually, it looks like what I asked it to do. And if we look at the code, we can see there's a whole lot of code there. And we'll take a look at that in a little bit more detail, or one of these versions anyway. So let's see what option B looks like here. So it included some pictures underneath the projects with a description and a list of skills, which are more just like text. I don't really like that as much. And a more form looking contact form with a footer that says YouTube, Twitter, and my portfolio site. So that's interesting. Let's check out the third one here. So there's a nice picture there that we could insert, and an introduction. It does have a menu up at the top for projects, skills, and contact. If we scroll down, there's a list of the projects. I asked for 3, and a list of skills. It didn't show all the ones that I had asked for. And a nice looking contact us page with an email, and then a footer at the bottom with 3 links. I do think tools like this are really amazing, and it's nice that we're coming to a point where we can have tools like this to help us generate content, even if it's not 100% perfect, which it won't be. But it can save so much time in developing any kind of content that you can think of, and then you can move it into your React project and get it hooked up to databases and doing the other work that needs to be done. But again, it just is a huge time saver. And I wanted to show a couple other options here. If I click on public, I can go ahead and make this private with a link. Anyone can see this, so I can go ahead and click on that, and now it's private. And you can see up here it says shared, or I could just make it totally private, and I can give it a upvote or a downvote or regenerate. Now it did consume some of the credits, of course, to do this. So let's go ahead and ask it to make some changes. Of all the ones, I sort of like this first one because it has more of what I asked for, I believe. So let's go ahead and ask it to make some other changes here. Here I asked it to change the background colors of the 20 skills to be a gradient fill to fit an orange and blue theme. So let's go ahead and submit that and see what it does. Up here in the upper left, we can see now it's working on version 1. And so there was our first version. So we'll go ahead and come back here in a minute when it's finished. All right, it hasn't been too long, but it's started to develop the actual changes now. So let's see what it does. Let's check a few other things here now. It did finish. It took it like 1 to 2 minutes. And so here's what it did. It did basically exactly what I asked it to do. Now let's check the responsiveness of it. So if I go to tablet mode, we can scroll down and see that. And we see our hamburger menu, which has the same links. And if we go to mobile view, then it looks nice too. So I think it did a good job. So let's keep making some other changes. Now I'm going to ask it to give the hero section a light gray background. And so here we go with version number 2 over here. And another thing that you can do is click a version. So like if we went back to version 1, then we could ask it to make changes from that and it would create like a new version. But I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm just going to keep making changes as we go through and edit this page. And we can see down here in the bottom left that it says quality. And normally that should say speed, I believe is the other setting. And in this case, I selected quality before I started this, so it's taking more time. Something else that would speed this up also would be like a voice prompt. So I don't see that as an option in here yet. However, if I could just go ahead and talk to it and have it interpret what I asked for instead of even having to type, that would also make it faster. It's finished that now, so let's go ahead and specifically click this pick and edit. So now we can choose to edit any individual piece like these div tags. So let's go ahead and ask it to fill in a description. So we'll ask it to give this an orange color background. And there it goes again, regenerating. That only took just about 2 seconds. Let's go ahead and ask it to make the text a complementary blue color. Okay, let's try something else here. I asked it to give each project a real name and then write details for each project using real technology and business terminology and how much money each project saved the business. And put that cost savings into its own container inside of the bottom of each project card. All right, let's submit that and see what it does. Okay, it's starting to fill in some details. All right, so it didn't do a very good job this time. I do like how it added in some details and the cost savings. However, I'm gonna ask it to make some other changes, and it left out a lot of my content at the bottom. So let's see if it can fix this or not. So I said make each of the project names wrap inside the space and make sure the cost saved aligns, I guess I should say aligns, at the bottom of each of the cards. And please add all the other content into the rest of the page. You missed a lot of the content from the previous generation. Let's see what it does with that. Well, it made some changes. I'm not sure I'm okay with that, but let's select this down here and say add 3 links and icons for Twitter and a custom website domain like my portfoliosite.com. All right, let's see what it does there. Okay, so there are the links that I asked it to add. So let's try and do something else here. Here I asked it to add a form with fields to collect the visitor's information. And I'll say a submit button. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that with a primary submit button. Okay, so now we have our contact us form back with a submit button. So let's try some other things. So I'm going to ask it to add some more skills. Add 2 more rows of skills with a little detail about each skill. I went ahead and opened up the code window over here and I made a couple changes, so now I'm going to click Save Changes. And let's get the canvas off there. And still it's having an issue with too much content and some of these overrunning the sides of the area there. However, it did put the costs at the bottom of the cells, which is nice, but there's still issues here with these project names. Still though, I mean, it's only taken me a couple minutes to prompt it to develop all this code. I'll go ahead and try the different views here. So we'll go to tablet mode and the projects look a little bit better there. still these skills are overrunning their boundaries, and so we do have some issues here, layout issues. Well, this video has already gotten pretty long, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here. In another video, I will go ahead and look at integrating the code that it created into a existing project, and we can see how that goes. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up this video at this point, and in the next video I will take a look at grabbing this code that it created and putting it into an application and then running it. Tools like these are very interesting to me, and I will look forward to seeing how they advance in the future. I thank you for stopping by and checking out this video, and have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. If you like this channel, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new content.